Luke, I'm your father. Sorry, silly joke. Hoping to make some fun in the beginning because we actually have some serious things to talk about. First, finally, we've got the patch notes for 5.2.1 for Star Wars The Old Republic, and let's dive straight into them because we have good news. 4th of May is a worldwide known holiday for every Star Wars fan, and yet another year, BioWare is honoring this with a special double XP event and some other things. So let's take a look. Highlights. May the 4th, in honor of the celebration of this holiday, log in between the 2nd and 8th of May to earn your very own M4Y6 Astromech Mini Pack. The double XP event is returning as well, and it will run from 4th until 14th. That's 10 days. Holy crap. That's a lot of ults to be leveled up. You guys get a chance to start a new character, experience those new cinematics, and see what all the fuss was about, in case you haven't seen them already on my channel, eventually. General changes, corrector and error in the tooltip for free-to-play players, chat restrictions. I really wish that we would see some full page with official restrictions, limitations, and priorities for free-to-play compared to preferred, compared to subscriber players. But this is something that BioWare has refused to do for quite some time now. And I really don't envy the poor free-to-play players who are just beginning the game and have no clue what's available, what's not, and why. Some more fixes that I will just skip. Going below to the class and combat changes. Don't worry, there is nothing actually related to real class changes. The only sorcerer change is actually a fix for a bug. Using Expunge while the player has the Galvanizing Cleanse utility will now cause your next ability with an activation time to activate instantly, as intended. Cool. A white visual effect no longer appears at the feet of operatives who use backstab from stealth. This is probably supposed to be under a different subtitle because it's supposed to be for operative and not for sorcerer, but hey, who cares? A couple of fixes from the same category related to the heroic moment and players exiting and entering a special mount or special form, alternative form, I should say, such as the mount on Iokath or the special weird thingy. I don't want to actually give away spoilers, so I won't name those particular things. Fixes for flashpoints and operations. Now, this is a fun thing. Veteran and Master Mode flashpoints will now drop loot for players from level 51 to 64. What loot? What loot? Do I have to level another? Oh wait, I have a million characters. I can actually test that myself tomorrow. What kind of loot we are actually expecting to see from the Veteran and Master Mode? Remember guys, for the old veterans that have just returned to the game, Veteran Mode Flashpoint is actually Tactical Mode Flashpoint, or as we know it, Story Mode. The Master Mode Flashpoint is the old version of the Hard Mode Flashpoint. There is no Nightmare Flashpoint introduced to the game, BioWare just decided to rename all of these terms. Fixes for Battle of Rishi specifically. Bolster now properly applies for Veteran and Master Mode Battle of Rishi. I did this thing 2 months ago, 3 months ago, I can't even remember. In the very beginning of 5.0, as soon as I reached level 70 with my old gear and my good old friend Zentrax, we duoed this in master mode, and we had absolutely no trouble doing this with the old gear and with healing companion. So it's just me DPS, him tank, and the healing companion. I'll link the video here somewhere if I remember. But my point is, how much was broken the bolster effect back there and up until today or tomorrow? What exactly are they fixing to properly apply it now? Was it over bolstered, which makes sense because the flashpoint felt easy, or was it under bolstered, which is weird because it was easy? Fixes for gods from the machine, mostly related to Tithe, obviously, because we don't have any more bosses yet. The next twin boss encounter will appear in 5.3, which hasn't been announced even yet with a date. But I'm guessing beginning of June, hopefully sooner. The lockout timer for defeating Tithe is now set to reset on Tuesday with all other lockout timers. This change was made prior to the update 5.2.1, where it is finalized in this update. Tithe now drops crafting materials. Cool. After his impressive entrance cinematic, Tithe has decided to actually wield his weapon. Ooh. Now his spike is actually really cool. Even though he is a god, Tight entrance cinematic will no longer play after he has been defeated, probably saving the players a little bit of a spacebar or attempting to spacebar through it. In the items and economy section, I would like to highlight just one thing. New item, legendary Iokath shard cluster. This consumable is dropped from some daily missions on Iokath. This shard cluster is bind on pickup and it will award more shards than the artifact Iokath shard cluster. The artifact is the purple one that probably everybody has seen already. Okay, one more. Players on Iokath can now interact with vendors while they are in other forms, such as the Iokath monitor. Okay, they spilled it. The secret, the monitor is that silly thing that I was trying to describe a moment ago, and the mouse droid. Moving on down, we've got the several fixes and improvements to missions and NPCs, and with this, I would leave you guys to read the patch notes, of course, if you are interested. There are some more interesting things, such as players who complete the main story missions on Iokath while also on a repeatable chapter will no longer be blocked from gaining Elara Dorn or Malavai Queen as a companion. This is exactly what happened to me on day one. For whatever reason, I had chapter 9 from Eternal Throne up and not finished on my Marauder, even though I had finished it, but God knows, maybe I've started it again in an attempt to do a higher difficulty, even though I never attempted those on my Marauder. I did them on my Sentinel. But that's just weird and unexplainable. Yep, I didn't receive the companion in the end, and I was wondering what was the reason. I did not receive the companion when I did it with my trooper as well, but my trooper never actually went through Eternal Throne, so that's a good and valid reason there. What do you think of the patch notes, or rather the highlights that I've just told you? Go to the article, read the full patch notes, and get yourself familiar with all of the other changes that BioWare is planning. This update is much bigger than what I personally expected. We've got more changes and updates, and the May the 4th be with you promotion and celebration is actually really cool. If you've been waiting for double XP, which double XP added to the current amount of XP earned from questing and everything else in the game, especially if you're a subscriber, this will result in one button level up. One button level up. Just crazy. See you guys next time. Bye bye.